There we are. Hey, Patrick, how's it going? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, we had a we had some moments there right before we came on the air, courtesy of me.
It's all good. Listen, folks, we're not known for our technical abilities when it comes to all the computers and the digital things, but we love racing. That's why we're here. We're trying to bring this to you because we like talking about this kind of stuff. We hope you like hearing about it and interacting with us.
Yeah, I mean Patrick and I are totally on here for our good looks, technical and
Yeah,
all of that. We have none of that.
we get a lot of offers for modeling gigs we have to turn down because we want to be at the races. That's just part of life. When you look as good as we do, we deal with it
Yeah,
as we can.
it takes a lot for this right here. A lot of crackers and cookies and stuff.
Yeah, lots of goodies. Hey, folks, welcome in. This is the Pit Stop Podcast. In case you didn't know, that's why you're here. We're here to talk racing. It's me, Patrick Bauman, voice of Magic Valley Speedway, with my good friend all the way up north, a few hours, Brent Hardy, the voice of the Concrete Jungle, Meridian Speedway.
Yeah,
That's who we are. Nice to meet you.
that's who we are. Um, Want to remind you though before we get rolling that totally interactive. Send us some comments, questions, say hi, kind of like this gentleman, Joe Ransom, apparently searched midget trying to find our show and apparently found some other stuff. So sorry, Joe.
Yeah, you're going to want to include some other keywords there when you're searching for midget racing. Include the racing. You're going to see
Yeah.
stuff you don't want to see. Yeah.
So, but just like Joe did, jump in, add some stuff, ask some questions. We got Chuck Groat coming on. Um, what is he? The worldwide leader of midget racing in the region, or what's a good? I've heard a couple other nicknames.
I didn't start it. To be honest, I don't remember who did. Some people call him the flying fossil. Not me. Some people. I've called him that because other people called him that. I didn't start it. He's not that old. They say flying fossil.
Is that
I,
enough? Is that enough apologies before we
I,
bring him onto the
I,
live? Just
yeah, he's like he can hear me right now. Probably. I love
keep
this guy.
watching.
He's the coolest. He's awesome. He looks good. He's nice, handsome. He's taken though, so don't think anything. But yeah, we're gonna talk to Chuck Rowe. I'd call him like right now. He's like the godfather of midget racing right now. That's kind of
Yeah,
cool, right?
there you go. I'm
I
sure
don't know if
Chuck
I'd go
appreciates.
that far. I've just been the one to stay in it the longest, I guess. So I guess if that comes through, just my longevity of not giving it up, then I guess I'll take that.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, we
Well,
appreciate
Chuck,
you.
welcome in, man. I know Patrick's got some stuff for you, and I've got some cool stuff. So go ahead, Patrick. Let's get this thing rolling.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
thanks, guys. I appreciate the invite.
we love any chance we can talk to folks like you that you've gotten to see more than one side of racing now that you got driver slash owner type.
Hmm.
You get those titles thrown into things. But let's start back in the pre flying fossil, the early stages. How did Chuck Groat get into racing?
I've been around racing my entire life. So I grew up in Massachusetts. My family was involved in the big block modifieds out in Lebanon Valley, out in New York. So we did a lot of racing or hanging out at racetracks up in the Northeast. I moved to Utah when I was 15, and just found Santana, RMR. Got connected with Jimmy Waters through bowling. I bowled league with him, started helping him out a little bit, and then just got into my first. Well, I raced go karts for several years, raced a legend car for a year, and then got into midgets and since 2007. And what have I been doing it for? 14 years now, I guess,
So
in
what
some
was
capacity.
what do you have like a first memory at a racetrack back if it was back east or that like first memory that you said I really love this, like this is just something kind of caught a fire?
Yeah, I mean, I had the Matchbox cars, the race cars, go out and play in the dirt. I mean, that just all my childhood memories was at a racetrack, rolling around in the dirt, in the mud. I would love to take a nap on a Saturday knowing that we can go to the racetrack that night. So it's just something that's always been in my blood, and I just have always connected with it.
Who are some of your favorite drivers that you liked cheering on when you were growing up?
The back east, the Kenny Tremont, Donnie Corrales, Butch Jelly, a lot of the dirt racers and the modifieds back there. Some of these guys are still running. Kenny Tremont, I believe, still runs some stuff, some big block modifieds back east. But just those are the early names for. We always go and watch at the tracks in the Northeast.
Right on. So you've gotten to drive in a few different classes. So what made you kind of land on the midget class?
I've always loved sprint cars. Probably could have never afforded one, and I figured that the midget was the next best thing. So, we bought my first car. I think RMR started the class, pretty light class, in 2006, I believe. I got my first car in 2007. Then the class really blew up at RMR. I think we had upwards of 20 cars at one time out there. We kind of had some peaks and valleys throughout the years, but it's a somewhat economical class as long as you don't park it into the wall like I did in the last race. It's not too bad. They're exciting, they're fast, but they're all close paced. It's really up to the driver and setup, and go racing.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I've loved about watching the midget class is if you haven't ever seen the midget class race and you hear the name of it, it makes you think that it's something diminutive, right? Something smaller, maybe slower. You get those ideas from the name of the class. Don't think that, because these are fast, open wheel, and things happen so quickly in a race, as you know. But I'm from the fan perspective, right? And what I've noticed, my observation is that these cars, like any little thing you bump, those cars, they bump tires or something, it's lightning fast, everything that happens. And so they're super fun to watch. So if you haven't seen them, you're going to want to make sure that you find out where the nearest midget class race is to you, and you're going to want to get tickets to it. So you met Jimmy Waters bowling?
Yep, we bowled on a league together. Probably, I probably started helping him 2004, 2005. So I got a little more up closer with the cars, started working on his pit crew and so forth, and learning there, and try to translate some of that knowledge into the midgets.
Is he a good bowler?
He does well.
That's a no.
No, not at all.
Hey, bowling's good fun. And how many times you bowled 300?
My wife tells me her last count's around 130.
Wow.
Yeah, I used to bowl pretty competitive up through the Northwest, throughout the country. Haven't bowled much after Chaz passed away. I took a couple years off. Now I kind of just bowl league. I haven't done as much tournament traveling as I did previously, but I used to use my bowling to pay for my racing.
All right, I like it. He's sitting there, huh? He's just totally making fools of folks at the bowling alley to pay for that new set of tires, huh?
That's right.
All right. So you mentioned Chaz. So Chaz, your son,
Mm-hmm.
how did he just? He was with you at the track, right, all the time. What was it that you think that caught him? And was it just he wanted to be like Dad and he wanted to get into racing?
He'd like to watch the wheels spin. I don't know how many times he'd be in his go-kart running, looking at the wheels spinning, not where he was going. So he was mesmerized by the wheels or whatever. Fortunately, he grew out of that. He raced go-karts, kid karts for a while, went into quarter midgets, junior stingers, midgets for 3 years. And we were going to go sprint car racing. I was going to decide that I finally maybe afford it a little bit. In 2021, we were going to go sprint car racing. Unfortunately, he passed away December 2020. We never got that opportunity. But after he passed, I sold all the sprint car stuff and kind of just dedicated myself to the midgets of trying to build that class and give back, put some younger kids in the cars, rented out some cars, just trying to hopefully grow it and get more people excited about it. Over the last couple of years.
Yeah, I think you've definitely done a great job at keeping things going in the midget class in our region, and I think it's super important for the future of it, because it's a class that I'd hate to see go away. Mm-hmm. And I know that I've only seen and talked to you for just a tiny bit about it, but I imagine that it takes many hours and a lot of capital funding, things like that, a lot of your time. So what is it? You're driving less now, and you're worried. It seems like you're worrying more about a lot of the behind the scenes things for the class. So What's kept you going? Because I'm sure there's been some hard days. What's kept you going with all of that?
Yeah, I ran it for 3 years. I did give it back to Adam in the tracks to kind of run this year. After I ran, in the last 3 years I was running, for about 2 years I didn't race at all. Last year when I bought an extra car and tried to help with car count, I jumped in the car a couple times. I ran Chaz's memorial race and won Friday night and kind of got a little excitement and adrenaline out of it. I'm like, well, I'm going to build a car, and I hope to run a little bit more this year, and not end up like I did at Meridian last time. We're trying to get the car fixed and get it ready for Diamond Cup. But running the class or helping, John Waters helped, and we had help by so many other people. It's difficult. I'm not a promoter. I'm a racer. I'm competitive. It's tough to be on the other side of the fence, and I definitely give kudos to anyone that could do that. I tried it for a good 3 years, and I'd much rather be in the car than worrying about some of the other things on the promoter side of getting race dates and keeping everybody happy and everything else. So.
Well, for a guy who hasn't been behind the wheel too much in the past few years, I mean, we've seen you once at Magic Valley Speedway in Twin Falls this season, and you broke the lap record for the midget class just like that.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I think they put some coke down on the track. We had a little extra grip, I think, that night. The track was amazing, and the car, that was a new build over the winter, and it just I must have put it together right. Nothing fell off, and it went fast. So.
Well, and then you've got some explaining to do, because just a couple weekends ago I was talking to the Websters after the race that we had, up there, and as I was leaving, did you hear Chuck got into the wall at Meridian in that new car?
Yes, I did. So I put a new spin on Parked It. So the first main event, I parked it in the fit on the winner circle. The next main event, I parked it in the wall. Parking it in the winner circle is much better, much cheaper than parking it in the wall for sure. But like you said, things happen so fast. I jumped a wheel. My left front jumped someone's right rear and sailed me right into the wall. So we're working on getting it fixed.
Are you okay physically?
Yeah. I probably said a lot of swear words, but other than that, I'm good. Thank you.
Very good. That's the most important thing. So you're going to be ready for Diamond Cup?
We hope so. We're got a lot of UPS packages coming in over the last couple of days, so we'll get some chassis stuff fixed this weekend, and then we'll start thrashing on it again.
Right on. And do you have goals going for you? Are you already making goals for next year, or are we gonna see you full time in the car still next year? Or are you gonna jump to sprints? What are we doing?
No sprints. For me right now, and it's just having fun. Back in the car, I'm trying to dial down my competitiveness a little bit, and really the 25 laps kills me. I need to go to the gym. The first main event, when you're leading, you got a little bit of adrenaline, you can get through it. That second main event, man, I was gasping for air. So that's probably half the problem I had out there anyway. That I need to get in better shape.
Right
yeah,
on.
we're not 20 anymore, are we?
Yeah, that's right. And I did hear you earlier, the flying fossil. I think Sid came up with that. Like I said, I've always kind of been the elder statesman. Especially now, just run against the kids, which I love. Seeing these kids come up and race, the Merrill girls, River and Cheyenne, started in their mid-teens, still running. We had AJ last year at 13, who did absolutely phenomenal. Some other guys in their upper 20s, lower 30s and stuff that I really like to see kids get in. I think it's a good learner class to come out from Stingers and some other things into this class. But I guess, like I said, earned the flying fossil just for my elder statesman of one being in it for 17 years or around it, and now being in my 50s trying to beat the kids that are 30 plus years my younger.
I know Brent's probably got some stuff he wants to ask you, but one last thing. So it looks like River said flying fossil is correct. There, she commented. River commented. So what? Do you ever get nervous? I get nervous on the street driving around teenagers. Do you get nervous when you're hitting those fast speeds going into corners and you got teenagers around you?
No, I mean the kids that are in this class, they're amazing drivers. I mean, I've watched them grow up from quarter midgets into the midgets, and they've just done an incredible job, and I have full trust being around them. And they're probably more worried about me and my geriatrics, maybe being a little wiggly or something, or losing my breath, or whatever. But it's fun running with them.
Right on.
And River also commented, she wants to thank you for keeping all of them racing all of these years. Um, and I think, and Patrick and I have touched on it a lot through, we've been doing this for a couple months. I know when you guys are up here at Meridian, it's a family. You guys are all down there together. The all of your guys' trophy presentations. You guys all have some of your own stuff you're doing, and especially the weekend for Chaz's memorial and stuff. Tell us a little bit about that. I mean, um, it's like if you are the flying fossil, it looks like you got like a whole ton of kids looking up to you and following you. What does that mean, especially when you guys go on the road to Twin Falls or come up here to Meridian for a 2-day show?
No, I love it. Everyone's close. I mean, it's become a much closer group over the years. We're there to help each other. We're running for $200 and a $15 trophy. I mean, it's for fun.
Mhm.
It's just a good time. We've been in racing for many years. Some have, like I said, gone from quarter midgets to other things into midgets. That we just want to put on a good show and have everyone roll their cars on the trailer at the end of the night, pop a beer, and be able to have a good time. Um, you know, but it means a lot to the kids, watching them be able to provide some feedback for them to get better, watching them get better over the years. I've even had some just excited to want to race me this year, even though they're kicking my butt. But it's been fun.
And I'm sure like the flying fossil, these family members like to probably give you a hard time. Devin Westover wanted to know, how long did it take you to wax your head for the podcast tonight? And that's straight
Yeah,
out of Devin. That's why I waited a little bit.
yeah, leave that to Devin. It took me about 15 minutes, but maybe that's one thing where I got the flying fossil, Devin. I've gone so fast that my hair's come off. You got a pretty good head of hair, so
There you
maybe
go.
you got to get a little faster.
There you go. Yeah, I see these comments pop up, and I'm like, we got to find the right time to do that one, because I don't know. I'm not that close and part of that family yet. So, but midget racing, I know we've here at Meridian. Joe Ransom had talked to us earlier on here, put a comment. Randy Tolzman was a guest that we had. There was a time it was one of the bigger classes here at Meridian back in the 80s, 90s. Then it seemed to kind of fade away. Down there in your guys' area, has it always been pretty, a pretty good cart count class, or is it something you guys had to rebuild after a while?
It's been up and down. We started RMR started 2006. I mean, we got up to like 20 cars at one time. We've gone to Havasu, Vegas, and had 20 plus cars. There's a lot of cars out there. Like with any class, it's just about getting everyone out there together at the same time. Galen Stewart does a fabulous job up in the Northwest with what he did with midgets, both dirt and pavement. A lot of cars up there. Some of the guys have come down to Meridian to run with us at Chaz's race or other 2-night events and stuff. So it's up and down with the economy and stuff going on. We're probably a little light this year compared to where we have been. I think over the last couple of years, we got up to about 10 locally that we ran at Meridian and Magic Valley. I think we had nine at the first race at Magic Valley, 7 here this last time. So it's just a matter of who can make it out, when. We know the cars are out there. Obviously, we'd love to see more come out. Like I said, I think this is such a fun class. All the cars are real closely matched. It's some of the greatest racing that I think that we put on. Not to be biased at all, but there's a lot of racing in the all throughout the field. Cars battling for position. I think we put on a really good show, and would like to see more cars make it out.
So, what's your favorite, you think? I mean, you've got a chance to race a few different tracks. You yourself and just the group. What do they? Some of you got short tracks, you got some longer tracks.
Mm-hmm.
For what you guys do, what really gets your blood pumping and you get excited to go to?
For me, Vegas is fun. It's a 3/8, just like RMR was, but it's very fast track. I like those. Havasu's fun. Havasu's a bit more technical. You have to definitely hit your marks at Havasu. Missing your marks and can certainly slow your lap times down. But I love all of them. I mean, Meridian we love going to. That was Chaz's favorite track as well. The concrete jungle is always fun to run at. I think the smaller track keeps everyone closer together and keeps some of the closer racing going on. But I got a love for all of them. Certainly like some of the bigger tracks myself from when I was younger and could go a little faster.
Right. Right. And like Patrick asked you, I mean, you guys are coming up. It's always a big show, June 14th and 15th up here at Meridian. It's like an open wheel extravaganza. I mean, we've got super modifieds, we've got you guys, we've got the sprint cars. Probably a big one you guys mark on your calendar. Some of these 2-day shows, especially if you have to travel.
Absolutely. I love the 2-day shows when we can do those. We got 3 of them this year, 2 at Meridian, 1 at Magic Valley. And those are the fun ones where you can kind of just hang out after the race. Thursday night, you go practice. We go with a bunch of people to dinner Thursday night after the practice at Meridian. Friday night, can hang out a little bit after. But I love running with the sprint cars and all those other open wheel. I think it, for the people in the stands, it kind of shows that progression of what you can do. Maybe you have a little less budget, start off with a midget and work your way up, or like me, stick in a midget for 17 years and I'm still having fun. I mean, I still love them. I love working on them. And like I said before, I love seeing new kids get in and just really do well.
All right. You got anything, Patrick?
Hey, well, I was just gonna say before we go, we've mentioned a couple times the Chaz Memorial Race. Just want, as we get closer to that, I want to see if we can get you back on, so we can talk about that and kind of get us up to that point in the season recap before we have that race.
No, absolutely. We're not, unfortunately, we're not sure if we're going to have it yet this year, but would love to still talk about it.
Yeah, I love the message, and I think that a lot of people can learn a lot from some of the stuff that you guys have had to go through, and I appreciate all of the positivity that you and your family are still putting out there, even though you've been through the mud.
Yeah, thank you. I would say that the racing family certainly helped us get through it. And racing's been a great platform to talk to kids about speeding on the road, even with parents and adults about organ donation and stuff. But without our racing family, things might have been much different.
Yeah,
well, we
it is
appreciate
definitely.
it.
Yeah, it is definitely a group, and I mean, for all of us on the other side of it that weren't in your shoes, you guys are amazing. It's amazing to see you be able to, live on in his memory and the stuff you've done, and like River Merrill here, these kids, all the photos, and Natalie, and all these kids that have been a part of it. You and your wife, amazing.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
We look up to you. We
Thank you.
appreciate it when you guys come out to Meridian and when Patrick gets to see you down in Magic Valley, because a lot of us don't know how that is, and the biggest thing we can do is be there for you, and it looks like you've had a army of racing family there for you the last 3 or 4 years.
We have, and we're so blessed, and thank you. And Patrick, I hope will we see you at Diamond Cup, or you to make the trek?
Gotta see. I gotta, the day job. I gotta see if I can, keep my health in order. If not, I might miss work a couple days. You know what I mean?
You do look a little pale. I think you're catching something.
I got that, So,
Yeah.
like I said, we'll see.
I've been telling him. I had Todd Seaver sit beside me in the booth last weekend just to make sure that my partner equipment worked, and it all worked. And Todd has said, "All right, it's ready for Patrick." I said, "Yeah, he needs to be up here the 14th and 15th." So
awesome.
We're kind of hoping you get the little racing flu.
That's right.
Yeah, we'll try and be there.
Yeah. And then, and River just wanted to let you know that she loves you guys, and all of us do. I mean, it's cool. I always look forward to you guys coming up to Meridian both of those weekends, and love hanging out with you guys and seeing how close you really are, because that's what we're doing this for. That's part of the deal.
I appreciate it. Thank you. We love it. We'll be there in 2 weeks.
Okay. You got anything else for him, Patrick? We're going to let him go get that car ready.
Yep, that was it. Thank you,
All
Chuck.
right.
Appreciate
Chuck,
it, guys.
thanks,
Thank
man.
you for the invite. I'll see you soon.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Chuck Groat.
I love that
tell you
guy.
what, man, what a family, what a racing crew. Um, I mean, I've been walking up and down those pits at Meridian for over 2 decades doing what we do, and then another 2 decades as a fan and a trying to be a driver. And everybody has their little groups and the people they hang out with, but it's always different when that midget group's in town. I mean, they've got the tables set out and they're eating and they're signing autographs once the party in the pits is going on. Um, they had all their own, they had their own little awards banquets and stuff just right there at the track. The kids, it's just, um, if only we could all be like that. And then, of course, what Chuck and his family had to go through just speaks volumes for the racing family that we always bring up and talk about.
Yeah, they've been through some stuff, and I love, from my beginning times at Rocky Mountain Raceways doing this thing, and that's the Groat family. Chuck and Julie, they're one of the families that just make you feel like you're part of theirs. And so anytime that I get to see him at a track, I love it. I go up and whether he likes it or not, I try and slap a hug on Chuck Groat, and
There you go.
and all the kids that come up after, no matter the day that he's had at the track. He's there handing out stickers and taking pictures and stuff. It's class act all around.
Yeah. So we appreciate Chuck coming on, and like I said, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, we all feel for the family, but it is amazing to see the recovery they've made,
Yeah.
and carrying on the memory of their son. And can't wait to see him on June 14th and 15th. Some of the best people out there.
Amen.
So, Patrick, we had a Memorial Day weekend, which is always an exciting time. Jeremy White jumped in there right after we got Chuck off the air, saying when he's one of the best guys out there. And Jeremy, we appreciate you too. We got to get Jeremy racing up here, get him back in the in the
Yes.
saddle, right?
Yes. Now, Jeremy has been becoming, I mean, I don't know how long he's been in, but he posts about, he'll be on the camp chef smoking up some ribs or something on race weekend. You want to hang out with Jeremy on a race weekend. That guy knows how to do it. He's got the man cave going on. I see you, Jeremy. You got a good setup going, but we want to see you at the track.
Yeah, get out there. I know he was a big supporter of Todd and DJ's Turn 5 Live. And I appreciate him coming on and watching us too as we all get going. Memorial Day weekend.
I heard it got crazy.
Yeah, Meridian was crazy. Saturday night, though, we had talked to Travis Milburn last weekend about Motorplex at the Mill.
Right.
DJ Everett and Jen, who used to announce down at Magic Valley, were on the mic. They did an excellent job on the inaugural event out of Emmett. And our buddy Darren, our fire crew guy, had an empty seat, Patrick. I got to be the fireman.
I saw a picture.
Not really the fireman. I was kind of the assistant fireman. And,
safety crew coordinator official.
Yeah. I didn't think about that title. Anything that has coordinator in it makes you sound smart and official, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But, in my, oh my gosh, 35 years of working out at the racetrack in some capacity, it was cool. I've done just about everything, sometimes only for a couple hours, not a professional at any of it, but I've always tried to bounce around. And when Darren gave me that opportunity, I'm like, yeah, orange is my favorite color. I have a cool orange fire. He wouldn't let me leave with it. I'd wear it even as an announcer if he let me, but
yeah,
I think he kind of wanted that back.
So how was the perspective being, down there with that crew?
It was cool. It was definitely from what you and I do. It was totally different. I learned a lot sitting there with Darren, and now as I'm watching them at like your crew and at Twin and the guys when they're back at Meridian, your eyes are looking for something totally different. We're watching the passes and these guys are watching the smoke, the pieces of cars popping off, and Darren has been volunteering. My camera keeps falling over. So if I disappear, then, it's just par for the course. Darren's been volunteering as, a safety crew out there for over 40 years. He shows up on Thursday nights. He brings his general, his side-by-side. And on Saturday, best of the best. And I urge anybody, I know there's a couple guys at the racetrack that have been getting to ride with him a little bit. I learned more in 6 hours than I ever would have just trying to watch from our side of the fence. So it was a pretty cool experience. Yeah, and I'd love to do it again. I told Darren I'd trade him. He didn't go for that.
I want to get signed up for a ride along one time.
Yep. I think anybody that's out there at the track that wants to be a part of it and cross train and all that sort of stuff, that's one spot you got to be, because it's laid back and you're watching the races, and then as fast as Chuck Groat goes into the wall, or our next guest, those crews are on it. I mean,
Yeah, they've got to be
Darren.
ready at a moment's notice.
Oh yeah. I mean, I was trying to watch. I was trying to do it all. I'm getting dizzy because he's like, no, you don't need to watch the cars go all the way around. Parks, he's got a rear view mirror here, rear view mirror here. I'm like, wow, that's a pretty cool idea. Now that I feel like I'm going to throw up, but no, but I do. I just want to throw a shout out to Darren and Travis and John for just letting me kind of find my freeway in and do a little bit of work there. But yeah, it was cool. It was a cool event to kick off the Motorplex at the Mill, their first ever race. Katie Miller picked up a win. John Wood picked up a win. Eric Reed took home the 75 lap pro late race. So a lot of the drivers, they're all the drivers that you and I know, and they got a chance to go out there. Crowd was decent, and like Travis said, he just wants to push through this year out there, fix the mistakes, tighten up the show. And then in 2025, I'm sure they'll be ready to go full throttle. So congrats to Travis and John and the crew. It was a pretty good event out there.
Yeah, he's got a good head on his shoulders, from just us talking to him. So I'm sure they're learning lots of lessons and they're taking notes.
Yeah. Meridian, Memorial Day Monday, had to be 4,800 people in there. The place was packed on a Monday night. And it was hard racing. We had 2 memorial trophies up for grabs, the Bill Crow Memorial for the late models. That race ended with some door slamming 3 wide craziness that Dylan Caldwell finally escaped from. The Leroy Nelson Trophy, Scott Groom won 2, is now back-to-back main event winner, and he's got his name on that trophy forever. But as we always know, on a crazy race night, there's always the tough breaks, the big hits, that sort of thing. Kendra Achapenti in the street stock division took a pretty good lick to the front stretch wall. So that's going to be a
She okay?
total front end rebuild. She was good. Yeah, it was. It's the, oh no, what happened? Oh no, who did it to me? Now I'm pissed, and oh, my back hurts. All within that first 30 seconds. But
Yeah.
but she's young. She'll heal. They've already got the car, on the mend. It's already at the Camaro Hospital getting fixed. But it was a pretty tough lick for Kendra. So, and then floating around, and I tried. Our friends at Turn One Media, he was out at the Motorplex and also came to Meridian. Alan has some. Go to Turn One Media on Facebook. He's got cool videos. He goes to these short tracks around the Northwest, drone videos, all sorts of cool stuff. Great photos. I contacted Alan today and asked him if I could steal one of his videos. He had one of those 360 cameras sitting on our wall in turn 3. And I tried to steal it. I tried to steal it a million times. He even emailed it to me. And for some reason, our computer wouldn't load it because I barely had gotten home right before this. But I will tell you that I just put it on our podcast page. I shared it on the Meridian Speedway info page. Everybody has. It's. I mean, if you haven't seen it, you probably haven't been on Facebook today yet. But the cool thing that he said he had just moved it from turn 2 and he moved it over to turn 3 during a break. So he wanted to get some different views, of the action. Speed Tour sprint cars powered by Pit Stop USA were there. Always put on a good show with the late models. And oops, that's not Chuck. See, now I can't do 2 things at once. I'm just popping up all these names, Patrick.
Okay.
But I'm going to bring a gentleman on here real quick, a longtime friend of mine, racer at the Speedway, Brent Collins. Brent, how you doing, buddy?
No, not too bad. About yourself?
Not too bad. So, Patrick, Speed Tour sprint cars are in the house. Always exciting racing. We had, 12, 13 of them, maybe. It was a good car count for Monday night. And just like I said, when we had Kyla on last week, like my own kid, all these guys are my friends. The younger ones are my children. Sorry, Brent, you're not. I don't see you as a son. I see you as a friend. But you see these guys. We grow up out there with each other. Kendra's my stepdaughter. She piles it into the wall. So, you always have that gut wrenching feeling for a second. I've been out there for a little over 20 years announcing. I've been out at that racetrack since I was 5. So if you can do the math, that's like almost 45 years.
412. Yeah.
420 years. Yeah, I know I look 21, but I'm just about ready to cross over the big old. Todd and I, and the clip that we put on there. Todd and I were announcing the race. Todd Seaver, I appreciated him. He wanted to come help out a little bit. This guy went for a hell of a ride and a quick ride. And the only thing I could say was just, oh my God, because I tell you what, Brent, that looked awful. And I asked Brent earlier today if he minded if we used the video and then brought him on. So first, Brent, tell us how you're feeling. I mean, I know there's got to be some aches and pains, and then just tell us about that crazy ride while I get a microphone with a good battery. Go ahead, Brent. How you
it
feeling,
was
buddy?
definitely a wild ride. Not much you can really think when you stare at the sky, and then all of a sudden everything kind of goes black because you've got your eyes closed because you know what's going to happen. First thought that really came through my mind was the old Ricky Bobby quote: "I'm flying through the air. This ain't good." And then came the sound, and next thing I know, I'm staring at, of all people, Adam's face.
Right.
It was definitely not what we expected for the weekend. We actually decided on Saturday we were going to run Monday, and just kind of shaking the car down for Diamond Cup, expecting to be there ready for Diamond Cup, and not exactly what we were expecting for the weekend. I mean, we've luckily walked away with some bumps and bruises, couple sore knees, couple little bruises here and there, but all in all, I mean, it was a eye-opening experience, to say the least.
So what exactly happened?
Just hard racing. We were running up, trying to keep up with the leaders, and we got tangled up with Aaron McPeak's right rear with the left front, and it went airborne. And next thing you know, it's pile drove into the turn 3 wall.
So let me tell you, folks, if you haven't seen this video, go to the Pit Stop Podcast page and watch the video. I got sent the video. Did you see this? And I'm like, what? And then, yeah, you see sprint cars coming around, turn 2, straight, turn 3, and then you see, bam, water. There's barrels of water or something there, right? A barrier, just stuff flying everywhere, car, right? And I'm trying to tell my coworkers at work, they're like, oh, we hit the wall. I'm like, yeah, like at freeway speeds. Like, this is nuts. And I was like, is he okay? And I'm like, oh yeah, he walked away. Like, what? So, are you hurting right now? Are you okay? Like, what? How are you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, I've got my knees hit the steering gear, so I've got some pretty good bruising and some swelling around my knees. I've got some pretty good bruising around the inside of my arms and stuff like that, just from rubbing the seat and all in that. I mean, other than those bumps and bruises, that's pretty much all I've got. I'm damn glad I have the best safety equipment I have, and a car owner that builds a car that is probably one of the safest one out there. I cannot thank Matt and Leslie Elliott enough for the experience and having a safe car for that.
So Brent, tell us a little bit. And then Lisa, I know Lisa said, by the way, my voice changed when I was just in shock because I've seen a lot of them out there. We've seen them on Thursday nights. I've seen them on Saturday. That one scared the living crap out of me, to be honest with you. And we didn't get it, but thankfully Alan and Turn 1 had a 360 camera sitting there. So sorry, Lisa. We usually try to get them all, but we missed that one. And actually, at that moment, I'm kind of glad we did until we knew Brent was okay and got you out of there. Tell us about the ride. Tell us about. I mean, I know I've been watching you out there. How did it come? From what? Did you start in the Legends? Was that the first thing that you were racing?
Yeah, so started racing out in the Legends when I was 16 years old. Kind of worked our way up. We've run pretty much every class under the sun out there for the most part. We moved from the Legends into a modified, and then kind of moved into the late models. We ran a couple of Hornet races and stuff out there, and then got to hanging out with Matt Elliott and started to help pit crew on his sprint cars. And next thing I know, as my wife Ash always says, he he got me into this dangerous sport, and it's his fault. So
But we're
we
gonna
ended up
blame
buying a
Matt.
non-wing out of California that we ran for one season, and I always just said I want to put a wing on it. So 2 years ago, we put a wing on it and ran the Pink Lady Classic for our first ever sprint car race, and we did make the show. But hey, I was happy for the experience. Over the winter, that winter, we decided to build it up, get an engine going. We actually took my old late model motor and put it in the car, and got my feet wet with that. And then this year, I was fortunate enough to be able to team up with Matt and run one of his cars. Well, for a few races, and it's been a great opportunity to be able to race for him and be able to race with him and against it, for him as well. Just the knowledge there has been awesome.
Yeah, and Matt is definitely another one of the nicest guys out there. And like you said, I don't think you could have picked a better teammate, better car builder. Tell us a little bit about that. I mean, I know Matt and his family have been racing forever. Is he the preaching the safety stuff? Is he making sure you're just as safe, if not safer, than he is when both of you guys buckle in there?
I mean, he is. He's been around that racetrack for years and has done his fair share of twists and turns and pirouettes out there. So safety is number one key on his side. I mean, he builds it. He makes sure that the cars are safe when we're going out there, whether it's my car, whether it's his car, or somebody that he's helping. He wants to make sure that car is as safe as possible, because something like this can happen at any moment. So,
right.
You
Well,
ever gonna are you gonna keep that video saved on your phone? Like be showing going around showing, be like, hey, like, I mean, I walked away from this. I don't know, no big deal. I mean, you see this smash into the wall. I walked out.
I mean, it's pretty much made it nationwide, so it's out there for years to come. But yes, I do actually have it saved on my phone.
it is actually,
you get on Facebook every day or throughout the day today, and it keeps popping up, and every time I cringe watching it.
yeah. Well, Chet with Low Racing that does a lot of the back east stuff said that let me know that is definitely going to be on next week's highlight reel of the 5 hardest hits. Brent, if you don't get number 1, I'm going after those Flow Racing guys because
yeah.
Well, who else do you want to throw a shout out to, man? I mean, I've number 1. Thank God you're all right. Like I said, there haven't been very many instances out there that just kind of make your stomach, just get all twisted up until you make sure you're good, and that was one of them. So I am glad you're all right. But anybody else you want to shout out to, and just I think everybody's going to be excited to see you on here and know that you're okay.
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, I mean, Matt and Leslie Elliott, they were the ones that gave me the car. Second, I've got to thank my wife. She lets me go out and do this crazy thing, even though she says that it's going to be the end of it. There's a good chance that it probably won't be, and she knows that too. But for now, the only thing we're going to be turning is probably wrenches with Matt. I cannot thank the safety crew enough out there. Jason and Darren have been awesome. TJ, they've all been awesome. I've been I guess a part of them as well, because I have worked on that safety crew as well. I cannot thank them enough for how calm and how quick they react to everything.
Yeah, and that's true. Brent's spent a lot of time out there on the safety crew, and like I said, my little stint. Yeah, those guys are amazing. Their experience, their calmness, and their knowledge. I mean, they know how to get you out. They know if to even get you out, and that sort of thing. But I know for all of us in the grandstands and all of your friends, it was the longest few seconds, I'm sure, before they got you out. But just waiting for that word is what we were all waiting for, bud. So I appreciate you coming on. I know that, it's not under the best of circumstances, but even myself, even though I was messaging you here the last couple of days, I wanted to make sure I got to see that beautiful face and make sure you're still okay. And thank God that you are, buddy. I'm glad that the equipment did its job Monday night.
Yeah, I cannot preach safety equipment enough anymore.
Okay, so Brent, we're gonna let you go, man. Thanks for taking some time out. Tell Ashley thanks for sharing you with us, and we won't see you back in a race car anytime soon. But I can't wait till we do, because
I appreciate
love
it,
watching
guys.
you race, and I love being out there with you.
Thanks, Brent.
All right, so we'll get Brent there. Thanks, Brent. And there you
Hey,
go.
listen, if you guys see Brent Collins or, Matt Elliott, you see those guys at a racetrack, throw them a 5 or a 10, whatever you got on you, because they're going to be needing to order some parts. So help them out. Because I want to see them race again.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I mean, man,
Those cars ain't cheap.
No, I mean, you go on some of the, and like I said, I can't thank Turn One Media enough, Alan. I'm sorry I didn't get it up there on the podcast like I wanted to, but go to our page and look, and then go to his page. He's got some pictures that of the aftermath. I mean, we were in the pits afterwards after we loaded our cars, and there's Alan right now. He was there, so appreciate him watching tonight. Yeah, I mean, before I even got it out of my mouth that Brent had taken that hard hit, but I saw him go into the wall, and Darren and the crew were there. I mean, almost before the car came to a rest.
Yeah, I've been to a couple events up there at Meridian. I've seen them. They're good. They're fast and being professional. Because you could roll up to something and be freaking out, and then that's not going to help the driver. And I've seen that safety crew in action, and they do an excellent job.
Yeah. So, and again, to Turn One Media and Alan, thank you guys. Amazing photos. Once I saw that video and I'd seen him, I saw him and his guys roaming around the mill, and I went and looked at their page. Flipping awesome. I mean, those guys are covering short track racing in a great way.
I checked it out on my lunch break today at work, and I saw some of the drone videos, and I was like, that is so awesome. Just a different perspective. It's really cool.
Yeah. So hopefully they make it back out to Meridian, and maybe can make it down to Magic Valley. I know they're from up in the Washington area, but thanks, Alan, for the cool views of our home, and even the scary one there. But thank God Brent walked away from that one. That was one of those nights. It was just everybody was racing hard, and yeah, just a little wheel hop. That's open wheel racing. We've seen it a couple times the last couple years, right in that same corner. But it was a scary one to watch. But once I knew he was good, it's like, let's just get him on here and chat with him. So I appreciate Brent and his wife Ashley.
Mm-hmm.
I know Ashley was probably like, let's not talk anymore racing, but it's in her blood too. I already know that, so they'll be back.
I hope so, because it scares us. I can only imagine what his spouse. You know what I mean? Like, wow, what's going through their mind? So thank goodness everybody's all right.
It is crazy, crazy stuff. But let's see. Are you guys off this week?
No, we're off.
You're off till the 8th, right?
Yep.
Nothing at Magic Valley this week.
Right. We got on the 8th, we're doing Project Filter Twin 35s.
Those are always fun. I love the double main event stuff. I mean, from the national anthem to the final checkered, you guys are main event racing on June 8th, right?
Yep. Trucks, late models, street stocks, mini mods, bombers, Hornets, and Stingers. So it's going to be a fun night.
That'll be cool. So June 8th. It's supposed to be getting warmer too, right? Summer's coming at some point. It was like 87 degrees on Monday up here.
Yeah, we're mid 70s, so we're good.
I'm ready. So this weekend up here, though, our friends at Busch Light are bringing us the June. We're kicking off the month of June with Smash-O-Rama.
Oh.
Not just a boat race. We got the Boat Race of Destruction. Idaho Asphalt Services is helping us out with another fireworks show.
Awesome.
The Beast Jet Dragster is going to make his first of a few appearances here in Southwest Idaho.
Jeff Atamian, the Beast.
The first. Yep. So Jeff will be up there. NASCAR mods, the Speed Tour mods, which you got to watch, they're going to make their stop at Meridian on Saturday night. Courtesy of our friends at Pit Stop USA, Pepsi Sprints, the Hornets, and the Firehouse Pub and Grill Bombers, because you can't have Smash-O-Rama without Bombers and Hornets, so that we can smash some things.
That's right.
But definitely, I mean, it's supposed to be in the high 70s, low 80s. Get your tickets if you want to go. It's always a fan favorite. June 8th back at Magic Valley. We'll be up here at Meridian on that same night. And then it gets us right into Diamond Cup weekend on the 14th and 15th. A little later than usual, but it's kind of cool because we can build up some hype as we get closer.
Yeah, Diamond Cup is an event that it's a special one you're going to want to see, and it's fast racing, good, close racing. So, if you need to request it off work, do it right now.
Get out of there. Yeah, Chuck Groat got us started. Him and his group will be up there or up here on Diamond Cup weekend. And I had a thought and I forgot. Oh, no. Next Wednesday, speaking of Diamond Cup, so on Saturday we have the JP Memorial, the Saturday of Diamond Cup, Super Modified, Speed Tour Super Mods.
Yep.
Kurt Kern and Mark Pasquale. I'm gonna mess it up. Maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago. They'll tell us next week for sure. Kind of two of the guys that hold a big part of this. Kurt Kern's been around NSRA and super modified racing for a lot of years. I'll let him tell us how much next week when we talk to him. But a great guy. And Mark Pasquale, we'll learn from him what the JP Memorial actually means, because it's another family. It's a family affair, and the cool part about it is it's from the fan side. I mean, we're not talking like somebody that's raced 10 million super modified races. It's got a little different twist to it. So next Wednesday at 6:30, Mark and Kurt are going to come on, and that'll kind of be our second little preview for Diamond Cup, Patrick. I mean, the show is huge. Even the entire Treasure Valley Diamond Cup for decades has been a hot ticket.
Yeah, it's a good show. I went, a couple years ago. I was up there with you for it, and I was just in awe the whole time. It was a great show. Tons of people there. Good weather. It's like I couldn't wait to go back, and I keep telling my wife, we got to bring the kids up. We got to bring everybody up for that show. So
yeah, no, it's a fun one. Your family would just be in heaven up there, and obviously we would love to have you guys up there. So Kurt and Mark are going to come on next week.
Cool.
We're actually like getting a schedule. I mean, now that you and I both, we think until 6:19 on the day we're supposed to do it, and we're both like running in here to turn stuff on. But and then June 12th, 2 weeks from tonight, you and I need to go find us some speed tour drivers, some sprint car drivers, some super mod drivers, whatever. We'll get 2 or 3 or 4 of them on here and just talk a little bit, because that will be just one night before the first practice for the big show. And
Deal.
It's so close. And then we got some cool stuff. Like I said, I appreciate Chuck coming on. And we definitely need to get him on here at the end of September too. Chuck's a great. I love having him. And I appreciate you for rounding him up, and apologize for everybody for being a few minutes late, because I didn't know how to work the computer. But definitely tickets for Smasherama, get them online, because a lot of times at like 4 o'clock you jump in line and they're already gone.
Yeah.
So meridianspeedway.com, click the buy tickets link. I know Josie's got it up and running. And while you're up there, you can buy them for Diamond Cup too. So get all of your events. Magic Valley Speedway, June 8th. I'm ready for that.
Project Filter Twin 35s.
I love double main event nights.
Me too. And you know who else does good on those nights in the truck class? Jenna Qualley, main event winner already this season. So keep an eye out.
Keep an eye on her. Yeah, I'm sure they're excited to get down there. It's our Dairy Days weekend up here. So we race on Thursday, the 20th. And then for some reason, my pickup always drives to Twin Falls when there's not a race at Meridian. Even when I went to Emmett on Saturday, it wanted to turn around and go to Twin Falls. I'm like, no, Patrick's not there. It's got auto drive to a racetrack. That's the way it is.
It's okay. I like it that way.
So we're going to plan and come down and hang out with you and watch some races on the 22nd. So can't believe we're talking about mid-June already.
I know, it's wild. I feel like we was just yesterday. It was April, right? And we were talking about, oh man, I won't see you until June, and now it's coming. So
yeah, 3 weeks out, buddy. So yeah, Smasherama this week is going to be live on speedcast.tv. So we're going to have that up and running. The next Flow Racing broadcast is going to be the Diamond Cup doubleheader. So for the folks out there, trying to keep track of where you can watch the Meridian Speedway stuff, it's Speedcast, and then Flow.
Cool.
For the next 2 weeks. And then Flow will be that doubleheader. And you got Skunk Cup and all sorts of cool stuff getting ready to happen down there as we roll into the summer too. So
yeah, for sure. So make sure you guys watch every week here, and we'll tell you what's coming up, which one, all the info, what's coming up, who you're going to want to keep an eye on. And we appreciate everybody that's tuning in, especially you folks watching live right now. But don't forget, you can watch this on YouTube after, right? Facebook, watch the replay, share it with your friends, tell them to watch next time as well.
Yeah. And down there on the bottom of your screen is our YouTube channel. So go subscribe to it. Make me feel special, because I didn't, it's like, wow. But go down there. And like I said, you can watch live. And on YouTube, you can watch live. And if you need to go to the bathroom, you can pause it. You can't do that on Facebook. Yeah. So Idaho CDL Training, Western Cargo, Services helping us out. Scent Savvy keeping us smelling good. I noticed Shelby put something. They've got molds or something. So I'm not. I just know this stuff smells good. I don't know
It smells really good.
what else. Yeah. So go on, check out all of those pages because those folks help us out along with Mike at Performance Signs and Graphics. All your wraps and banners and stickers and all of that cool stuff. And we're just ready to hit the end button. And Patrick has a fan, even though it's only Riley Robert. Only. I mean, it is the Riley Robert. He's the man. So there we go, buddy. Kurt Kern and Mark Pasquale. Kurt Kern will be joining us. Mr. Pasquale from the great state of California, as they're all getting ready to make plans to hang out with us here at Meridian Speedway in a couple of weeks. So I think that's it.
Yep.
We made it.
Another one.
So have a good weekend off. If you're, who knows, maybe the car just weaves its way up to a Smasherama for the night and just tell the wife, see, that wasn't that bad of a drive. Can we do it again in 2 weeks?
Yeah. You just sometimes cars find their ways to certain places and they just run better over there. So if it's good for the car, it's good for the family.
Exactly. Got to keep the family together even when you're traveling, right?
Yeah. Tomorrow's our anniversary too. So she's going to be in a good mood. I'm going to mention to her a few events we want to hit up there. So
that's the time. You just tell her that, hey, happy anniversary, dear.
Here's these flowers. Here's these chocolates. Did you ever, you remember the Diamond Cup? You remember how cool that was? We went,
Diamond. Maybe we can find. Yeah, you're like, the diamond on your finger.
I need some sponsors. We can do that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get some diamond sponsors.
Neil Allen Fine Jewelry. I'll get a hold of Neil Wassner. We'll hook you up.
Yeah.
So for Chuck Groat, Brent Collins, so happy to see him, and I appreciate him coming on. Sometimes I feel like kind of a jerk, like, hey, I just saw you pile drive it into the wall at 110 miles an hour. You want to come on the podcast and talk about it? But Brent and I go way back. I love the guy. I love his family, and I really just wanted to get him on here because you know how it is. Even when we're doing the calls, it's like, hey, they're up, they're out of the car, they're okay. Things happen later. Brent and I are getting old. Things start hurting that you didn't know were hurting. I just wanted everybody to
start feeling stuff.
Yeah, start feeling it. Just wanted everybody to see him and hear it from him. And again, thank goodness that Matt Elliott and his family and crew have put Brent in a safe car. And Chuck, again, we'll see him on Diamond Cup. And we'll see you soon. I'll leave that up to your wife and your family. But happy anniversary, man. That is pretty cool. It's a time ticks away. How many is it? Do you remember that, though?
16 years.
16 years.
Sweet 16.
She's put up with you that long?
I know. Sometimes it seems really crazy, but I'm just not going to complain. I'm going to keep going with it. You know what I mean?
Oh, just, roll with it till she says, you're out of here.
Yeah,
so only ask about traveling to racers like once or twice. Don't push your luck, buddy.
Hey, yeah, I know when to pick my battles.
There you go. All right. Smash Saturday night at Meridian Speedway. Get your tickets early. Speedcast.tv if you're out of town like Patrick. And we will be here with Kurt and Mark and Patrick and myself in a Speed Certified Diamond Cup preview next Wednesday at 6:30.
Love it.
All right. Good night, everybody. Thanks, buddy.
See ya.